Hello, welcome to the Trial Report. I'm Julio Santorelli and I'm joined by DB Beecham from the Sports Daily. DB, good morning to you.
Yes, hello Jules.
We're recording this PM and you've been here since AM, so thank you for doing overtime.
All good, all good.
You get paid well, so that'll be okay.
You have a sense of humour.
Thank you. 15 sets of heats, and we're going to focus on at least half of those. Particularly, we'll start off heat number one and a couple of nice 2-year-olds from the Darren McAuliffe team.
Yeah, Solaya and Under the Radar are the ones who you're mentioning there. I think Solaya is the one to watch out of this. A Toronado filly, he's doing a good job. Toronado as a stallion, and this filly was sort of run off her legs early and then she made ground and she nabbed Under the Radar by her nose, but through the line she was really good. So the time of 24.49 wasn't flash, but she's out of Isola Blue, who ran 4th in a Challenge Stakes and 5th in a Oaks. So you'd suspect that this filly by Toronado will get better as her distances increase, but from a start point, I liked it.
Heat number 2, Clairvoyance, also from Darren McAuliffe. How do you stack the two trials and the two stablemates?
Yeah, it's a Nostradamus filly, so I love the name. I think it's a very clever name. She was very, very professional. She went straight for Mitch Pateman, won by 2.5 lengths from Shoulder Strap in 24.23, so just over a length and a bit quicker than the previous trial, but I thought, again, from a launch pad, Clairvoyance was impressive.
We go to heat number 3, and you're pretty taken by our boy Dylan.
He went well. It's the second trial win from as many outings this time in.
And there are a couple behind that took your fancy as well.
Yeah, and they're handy juveniles we've seen previously. American Choice for Simon Miller and Too Spicy for Luke Fernie have both come back. I suspect they'll be aimed at the supremacy in Saturday week's meeting, but both of them weren't asked to do a lot, but they hit the line well. So our boy Dylan is a follow, but with a special emphasis on American Choice and Too Spicy.
What did you make of heat number 4 with Hollyoak?
Just Handy.
Just
Handy and Timescale were the two here, Jules. Just Handy, we've only seen at the races once. That was on Perth Cup Day, and she ran second on that occasion to Gemma's Son. Found the front there today. Clint Johnston Porter urged her along, and she held on to win by half a length from Timescale, this press statement filly out of the Simon Miller yard, who is still very raw. She is a 3-year-old, and in the making, you would think, but she's doing it all right as a 2-year-old. So if she pulls up well, she may well go to the races now.
And Hollyoak was just behind and sort of impeded somewhat, but it wasn't a bad trial.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
Heat 5, really keen to get your thoughts too on this 5th heat, because we've seen the progression of Fred Dagg taking the next step. That's his second trial after a period out with that tendon injury, but also Fred Dagg and Calvin too was good.
Yeah, he was, and Fred Dagg's just a nice horse, and we've seen him previously, haven't he, when he sort of just gets cuddled up behind the field and he comes with a run. He's got a really, really wicked turn of foot, Fred Dagg, for Bruce Watkins. And I thought this trial today, he just sat sort of second and behind Kelvin, and then once Jason sort of asked him for an effort, he quickened and lengthened and only beat Kelvin by a little margin, but they were 5.5 lengths quicker than the third horse effectively. Like, they cleared out. So Fred Dagg and Kelvin, when they go to the races, I'll be happy to play.
Yeah, really keen to see where Bruce Watkins will, where the starting point will be for Fred Dagg. We know that he's got a really big opinion of the horse, and because of that injury, he missed that carnival, the Ascot Carnival last year. So really keen to see what Bruce Watkins does next with Fred Dagg, but take nothing away also from the effort of Kelvin.
Yep.
We skip heat 6 and we'll go to heat number 7. And Warfish was very, very good for Sean Casey. He showed a lot of toe.
Yeah, he did. He found the top and gapped them mid-trial and was eased down to win by 3 lengths and just over 57. So it was a good, slick trial. We know that Warfish has some ability, and on that, he's ready to go to the races and be competitive, I think.
Talk about Warfish and the Sean Casey stable. Laverod made a return. He really showed he's a horse, a 3-year-old with a ton of potential with what he did last campaign. What did you make of the trial?
Loved it. Yeah, he ran effectively a length slower than Warfish, but he sat behind the speed and then he really lengthened late, didn't he? And look, he's won by 2 3/4 lengths. He's had 5 starts. He's won one of them. That was his most recent one. He beat Boomtastic, but he's been placed in a Placid Arc, placed in a Lustia. I think kept to those short courses, I think Laverod can be quite lethal.
Do you think Laverod, well, Sean Casey said post the trial in an interview that he's pretty keen on stretching out Laverod to a mile.
Yeah, look, he may well as he matures, but looking at him when he was tried over that 1400, he had a world perfect run and then he sort of peaked at about 100 out, and then he was brought back in distance, and he was really good. Now, I'm not doubting Sean. He's got a far better handle on the horse than I have, Jules, but for mine, he just looks like a really lethal 6 furlong sprinter.
We'll see later on in a fortnight's time at Ascot. Let's go to heat number 9, and Boston was led and won quite easy.
I like this trial. Yeah, look, this Snipperton filly out of Lady Mambo, so she's well enough related. She jumped quickly, travelled, and was strong enough to win by 2 lengths from Cliffs of Comfort. 57.35. It was her 5th trial in her career. She hasn't been seen at the races. Her first trial back this time, but it was a nice, strong, authoritative trial without being asked for too much of an effort.
Heat number 10, taken out by Giant Leap for Grant and Alana Williams, winding up late and hitting the line well.
Yeah, he was. He's only been seen once this year for Edge Gelding, and that was when he was on debut, obviously, behind Levitate down there, ran 3rd on that occasion at Bunbury. Levitate has since been fancied in town and run well. It was a nice trial. He was doing his best work late, so I think you can watch for Giant Leap, who's out of Moonbound, to be a horse who can go through his grades.
So we go now to the final of the heats. That was heat number 15, Spiritual Warrior. I mentioned for Justin Warwick will be heading towards the Bunbury and Pinjarra Cups.
Yeah, it's interesting, this one, Jules. It was meant to be a 14.50, wasn't it? It was only run over the 950, but Spiritual Warrior, who has not been seen since the Perth Cup, I think he ran 5th on that occasion. Right. He was nice and sharp today over an unsuitable trip, so whether Justin got what he wanted from Spiritual Warrior out of that trial, that remains to be seen. But if he has and he's happy with his fitness levels, he'll go to the Bunbury Cup and they'll know he's there.
One we haven't mentioned, but just off script, heat number 12, Lord Lonsdale for Tiana Robinson, another of those machinos that she has.
Won by just under 4 lengths. It was a slow time. Troy was able to get to the top on Lord Lonsdale, stack them up and then sprinted clear. So it was the slowest trial of the day, but the manner in which he won that trial suggests he goes okay, and he's had one career run for a 4th, so Lord Lonsdale you can follow.
Recapping then, so the trials to watch from your point of view, heat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, and also Spiritual Warrior in heat number 15.
Correct.
Was there one standout for you?
I like Fred Dagg. I know we've seen him previously. If he can stay sound, I think there's a good race in Fred Dagg. So I'm just happy that he's back. And some of those 2-year-olds I think you can follow when they do go to the races.
Terrific. That's our trial report. Lark Hill today, 15 sets of heats. Thanks to Diggers.
Thank you, mate.
And we'll see you again next week. Thanks for your time.